Sandals Royal Bahamian reopens its doors, police investigating a fire in Andros, and flags flown at half-mast across the country for Sidney Poitier. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper with your JCN News for this Thursday, January 27th. The Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort opening its doors for the first time since 2020. Our Tyler Simonet was there for the reopening and files this report.
After an extensive amount of renovations valued at around $55 million, the Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort welcomed back guests for the first time since March 2020, the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in the Bahamas. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation Chester Cooper speaks to how significant this reopening is to the tourism industry in the Bahamas.
This is a transformed resort. It's excellent reviews already. This resort is going to be at full capacity over the next few days, I understand.
When asked what percentage of Bahamians would be employed for this reopening, the DPM said he could not give an exact number, but said it is a significant percentage of the 900 employees coming into work would be Bahamian. He also added that 250 of those employees are previous workers of the resort. Now, Prime Minister Philip Davis was on hand for the ribbon-cutting ceremony and spoke to how the tourism industry needs to be revolutionized.
While the importance of the hotel industry is unchanged, the role and value of tourism to our economy is changing. It remains and will remain our number one industry for a long time, but we are keen to remove some of the vulnerabilities exposed by the pandemic. We need to redouble our efforts to remain competitive. We need to innovate. We need to ensure that our value proposition remains compelling for our visitors, hoteliers, workers, and our country. And we also need to substantially diversify our economy.
Prime Minister of Jamaica Andrew Holness came all the way from Jamaica to witness the reopening after being greeted by the Prime Minister and other members of Parliament at the office of the Prime Minister. He expressed how happy he is that the Sandals Resort continues to invest in the Caribbean.
It is a name that comes with the promise of an exceptional, world-class experience, and it has in all cases and at all times lived up to the promise. Today, we are here to witness the grand reopening of this magnificent resort, and that is a sign of triumph, given the context within which we have been operating over the last 2 years. I understand that what we see here today was 3 years in the making and is testimony to Sandals Resort's international commitment to the Caribbean to continue investing.
Adam Stewart, Executive Chairman of Sandals Resorts International, welcomed and engaged returning team members and new employees at the resort. He says he is a proud investor in the Bahamas, a country he calls his second home. For JCN News, I'm Tyler Simonet.
During the 2021 election campaign, the Progressive Liberal Party promised to deliver more affordable housing opportunities, and just 4 months into their term, the Minister of Transport and Housing, JoBeth Kobe Davis, and her team have been working hard to deliver on that promise. As we hear in this next report by Jarino Saunders, more than 40 will soon have a new home in southern New Providence.
On Thursday, ground was broken for 43 new single-family homes in the Pinecrest subdivision in southern New Providence, located just east of the South Beach Clinic off Bamboo Boulevard. The groundbreaking comes on the heels of the government's open house fair, and according to the Minister of Transport and Housing, JoBeth Kobe Davis, the plans all came together smoothly and quickly.
It gives me great pleasure to participate in this groundbreaking ceremony, which comes on the heels of my ministry's Open House Fair, an initiative held to introduce my government's affordable housing program to the Bahamian people. The Open House Fair, which served to launch my ministry's housing initiatives, was intended to be the impetus of our home building program and the means by which prospective homeowners got a glimpse into the many facets of our home ownership programs. By all accounts, the response to the fair was overwhelming, and the event has been deemed a success. The idea, the thoughts, the plans came only 2 weeks ago, and all of what you see here is because of the amazing hard work of the team that I have been blessed with.
Mrs. Colby Davis was also thankful to the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation, Arawak Homes, and other lending institutions that will help make the new subdivision and home ownership a reality. She is pleased with the results from the public-private partnerships.
This public-private sector event underscores the importance of the private sector as strategic and collaborative partners, and in so doing ensures that there is not only cooperation but also mutually beneficial service delivery to our clients. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the brevity of my tenure thus far, I have embarked on an aggressive housing agenda, and I am committed to ensuring that the staff of my ministry fosters positive customer service relationships that will enable Bahamians to realize their dreams of home ownership.
Colby Davis says Pinecrest, which is in the South Beach constituency, is only the first stop for the government.
I want to assure you that today my government plans to continue in this vein, and so there will be many more groundbreaking ceremonies. Today signals a new day for all of us. It is indeed the Bahamian People Show as they move closer to home ownership. I invite all of you to please join me as we realize this milestone and break ground.
According to Mrs. Colby Davis, construction on the first 10 homes at Pinecrest subdivision will begin immediately. She says construction will also soon begin at the new Carmichael subdivision. Jurino Saunders, JCN News.
Local government elections were held across the Family Islands today. Some 60,000 eligible Family Island voters were expected to turn out to the polls to vote in those elections. Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs, Clay Sweeting, led a delegation to a number of islands, including Abaco and Grand Bahama. Minister Sweeting noting that he felt compelled to visit those islands that were ravaged by Hurricane Dorian in 2019. Minister Sweeting says the residents of Abaco and Grand Bahama have shown their resilience to rebuild, and hopefully local government will play an intricate role in doing so. Now, local government elections are to be held every 3 years. However, the 2020 elections were postponed due to the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in country. 617 candidates were nominated on January 6 in 92 districts. Minister Sweeting is the first minister responsible for local government to vote in the elections. This evening, Family Islanders will have some idea of who their elected officials are. A recount of the votes expected on Friday with official results released to the public on January 31st. A woman is dead following a structural fire in Mastic Point, Andros on Wednesday. Police are now investigating the circumstances that led to that blaze. According to police reports, shortly before 6 p.m., officers in Nicholstown were alerted to a structural fire in Mastic Point. Officers, along with the country's volunteer firefighters, responded. On their arrival at the scene, they met a concrete structure fully engulfed in flames. On completion of the officers extinguishing the fire, they conducted a survey and search of the interior. During this exercise, one of the officers found the charred remains of a female crouched in a bathtub. The cause of the fire is not yet known. Police will await the identification by a next of kin to verify the victim's identity. Investigations into this matter continue. In news from the crime front, police are appealing to members of the public to assist with their investigations into that traffic accident that resulted in a fatality on Tuesday night. The serious accident response team of Royal Bahamas Police Force's traffic section is seeking the assistance from members of the public with their investigation into that fatality that occurred in the vicinity of Prince Charles Drive and Beatrice Avenue. Individuals with information concerning this accident can contact the traffic section at 397-8050 and 397-8051. If you saw something, say something, they say. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.